Hello, Ashely. Thank you for joining us here on AOSR Interviews.
I am, like you said, an alumni of AOSR. I'm living in the US right now. I have 2 kids, and I'm about to publish my first novel. I was there from 2011 to 2014, so my sophomore year to my senior year. Every teacher that I had at AOSR was absolutely fantastic. As a kid, I grew up and I moved to different countries, like a lot of kids who go to AOSR. And I experienced a lot of different teachers, but the teachers at AOSR have been by far the most memorable. Specifically, Davey, I loved her classes and the things that she kind of taught there, technically about writing, but also just exploring literature and its allegorical forms and the meaning behind some of the best books, the classics, really inspired me to start looking more into writing and becoming an English major in university, and definitely inspired me. I took all AP courses. All the AP teachers I pretty much had, mostly in the humanities, language arts, not so much in the science and math. It's such a difficult question. I have so many great memories from being at AOSR, from playing sports and meeting all of lifelong friends that I've had for years now. But probably my fondest memory would be I actually met my husband in the first period of English class with Miss Davey. And that's probably a memory that just sticks out to me from my time there. I think one of the best advantages and such a blessing that we have traveling and going to international schools and getting to make so many friends from so many different parts of the world, and even our teachers are so global. It really contributed to having a new perspective on the way that culture and tradition and global perspective kind of works in relationships. And that's something that I explore a lot in my book, just from the humans versus the fair folk, and how their differing cultural perspectives kind of prevent them from seeing things eye to eye, but how the main character can kind of see the likeness in both those cultures. And I think that a lot of students at AOSR are like that, where they kind of stand in between multiple cultures and they're able to look at the world through the eyes of many different perspectives. And so that's definitely something that I've cherished a lot from my time.
You went back to the US to study?
Oh, I went to Scotland, then South Africa, and then back to the US.
Was that something that helped you?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I think every single university I used, whether it was in Europe, Africa, or the United States, my AP classes transferred pretty effortlessly. And the way that they transferred credits in those 3 different schools, they were able to interpret my grades and the kind of courses that I took pretty fluidly. There was never really a problem. And so I think that that's a testament to how global AP is and how it made my experience transferring so many times so much more simple. And I loved the courses. I loved the teachers. I thought they prepared me for university really well.
And what's the novel about?
It is a high fantasy novel, and it's a first in a trilogy of novels, hopefully. Largely inspired by Celtic mythology, although I kind of have fun with it and I don't stick to the book essentially. But it is about the fair folk and about, there's all kinds of mythical creatures and beasts, and very nerdy, great for fantasy lovers. I love the fantasy genre. I've always loved it. My parents raised me on fairy tales and Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, and so I've always had a love for the genre. And then as I grew older, I knew I wanted to be a writer from around high school. I just fell in love with specifically fairies and the way that Celtic mythology represents them, which is very different from the way that Disney or mainstream media represents them. And so I wanted to kind of play with that, and I saw that there was a demand for it in the fantasy demographic, and so I decided to write one.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashely. I really appreciate your time. And we look forward to the launch of the book and getting a couple of copies here at school.
Yeah, great. Thank you all so much, and for all your support as well.